6 months. That's all it takes. 6 months of focus. 6 months of discipline. 6 months of ignoring distractions. And your entire life can look different. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never stay focused long enough to see results. They start something on Monday, lose motivation on Thursday, and by next week, they're chasing a completely different dream. Not because they can't succeed, but because they never lock in long enough for success to find them. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone decided something simple. They decided that for the next 6 months, they will disappear from distractions. They will stop explaining their goals. They will stop announcing every plan. They will simply work, quietly, relentlessly. And when those 6 months are over, people will call it luck. But it won't be luck. It will be focus. Most people are addicted to starting. Starting feels exciting. A new goal, a new idea, a new plan. The motivation feels powerful. But success doesn't come from starting. Success comes from staying. Staying when motivation fades. Staying when progress feels invisible. Staying when distractions get louder. Because the truth is, the first month always feels easy. The second month feels uncertain. And the third month is where most people quit, right before results begin to appear. That's why locking in matters. Because focus over time creates momentum. And momentum changes everything. Locking in doesn't mean working 24 hours a day. It means protecting your focus like your future depends on it. Because it does. It means fewer distractions, less scrolling, less talking, less explaining, more building, more learning, more improving, more showing up when nobody is watching. It means understanding something powerful. You don't need 10 years to change your life. You need 6 focus months. 6 months of consistent effort. 6 months of intentional habits. 6 months of discipline when nobody cares. That's where transformation begins. Let me tell you about someone named Marcus. Marcus always loved photography, but for years it stayed a hobby. Something he did occasionally. Something he talked about more than he practiced. Every year he told himself the same thing. One day I'll take it seriously. But one night something changed. Marcus made a simple decision. For the next 6 months, he would treat photography like his future depended on it. Every single day he practiced. He studied lighting. He learned editing. He watched tutorials. He recreated professional photos. He made mistakes, hundreds of them, but he kept going. While friends were out partying, Marcus was editing photos at midnight. While others were relaxing, Marcus was improving his craft. At first, nobody noticed. Nobody cared. Nobody believed it would go anywhere. But 6 months later, Marcus had built a portfolio. A real one. One that started attracting clients. One that started creating income. 2 years later, photography wasn't a hobby anymore. It was his career. Not because he had special talent, but because he locked in long enough for improvement to compound. Most people underestimate consistency. They think success requires some massive breakthrough moment. But the truth is, success is usually quiet. It happens slowly, one improvement at a time, one skill at a time, one day at a time. Consistency is powerful because it compounds. A small improvement today, another tomorrow, another next week, and before you realize it, you're not the same person you were 6 months ago. Your skills are stronger, your mindset is sharper, your discipline is deeper, and suddenly, things that once felt impossible start becoming normal. Here's the reality. locking in for 6 months sounds simple, but very few people will actually do it because it requires sacrifice. It requires patience. It requires showing up when results aren't visible yet. And most people want results before the work. They want success without the silent grind. They want recognition without the discipline. But life doesn't work that way. The rewards always come after the work, not before it. Something interesting happens when you stay consistent long enough. You stop relying on motivation, and discipline becomes part of your identity. You stop asking yourself if you feel like working. You just work because it's who you are now, because growth has become your normal. And once that shift happens, everything becomes easier because you're no longer chasing success. You're becoming the kind of person success naturally finds. Imagine this. 6 months from now, where could you be if you started today? What skill could you master? What habit could you build? What opportunity could you create? 6 months of focus. 6 months of effort. 6 months of refusing to quit. That's 180 days. 180 chances to improve. 180 opportunities to move forward. The question isn't whether 6 months is enough. The question is whether you're willing to stay consistent for that long. 6 months from now, the time will pass anyway. The days will move. The calendar will turn. And life will continue forward. The only difference will be this. Did you spend those 6 months distracted? Or did you spend them building the life you want? Because the future you're dreaming about is waiting on the other side of your discipline. So lock in, focus, stay consistent, and when the world finally notices your progress, they'll call it luck, but you'll know the truth. It was never luck. It was 6 months of refusing to quit. Not everyone is meant to hear this voice. We don't speak to everyone, only to those ready to rise. If you're still listening, you already know what to do. Follow the voice of hustle. Speak less. Grind more.